Hello, everybody. This is another episode of AI Got This. And today we have Ryan Clark and Michael Stanfield as our guests, and we are going to talk about CloudSync. And right now, everyone's going, "What is CloudSync?" I've never heard of that before, and that's why we're going to share it with you. But first, let's do some introductions. Ryan, why don't you go?
Yeah, thanks. I'm Ryan Clark. I'm a senior director here. I've been at the firm for a really long time now. Um, and I am, I guess, my role manager for CloudSync and a number of other IP and products that we offer. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah, Michael.
Hello, my name is Michael Stanfield. I am a director of development on the product team, predominantly CloudSync. I've been at Armanino for 9 years now, but have been focused on this product for a solid 3 years. Excited to talk to you all.
All right. So somebody explain to me what's CloudSync. What is that?
Yeah, I mean, super quick. CloudSync is a integration platform as a service that is an Armanino built platform. Uh, we host business system integrations for our customers. Um, so, what does that give them? That gives them the peace of mind that their data that they need to share amongst their systems moves through a platform that they don't have to maintain or host or have any kind of technical footprint internally. Um, we can dig into some of the services and offerings as we go. But yeah, as a general statement, it's a platform that we have to shuttle data back and forth and do so very quickly and very securely.
So why did we embark on building our own iPaaS solution?
Somebody had an idea at one point, and it may have been people on this podcast. But the long and short of it was we've been using a third-party platform to do integrations for our customers. And quite frankly, we had to do some weird gyrations to make it work right for our customers, and it was clunky. Um, Permissions were way too loose. Functionality was tough. The user interface was awkward, and we wanted to move away from a dependency of a third party, and we have the talent in house to build a better mousetrap. And so we set out, built a business plan around how we would do this, um, given our Microsoft partner relationship, to build this on Azure, and got a plan and took off. And like all interesting developments go, we struggled along the way for a little bit. We finally got a cadence. We finally got an architecture that we really felt good about, that was super scalable, and we ran with it, and maybe, as they say, the rest is history.
Nice. All right, Michael, tell us a little bit about how you built this.
Yeah, that's a good question. Well, quite honestly, we built this through failing fast. We got in a room, we hashed out all of the details, and then it got to a point where we was talking more about edge cases and not getting started. And I remember the day that we came to Ryan and said, we've just got to start. And incrementally, we've had more failures than we have successes, and you build upon those. Standard and agile development, right?
Hmm.
Getting a transaction, can we get the transaction into the system? How does that perform at load? Now we can start handling the edge cases. But the short answer is we built it through micro failures and adapting from those failures.
And the backbone is Azure, but tell us a little bit more about the technology and what you're
Absolutely.
using there.
So we run a hub and spoke model. So the 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 in the inbound is via a service bus, but effectively the hub is the brains. This is the piece that does all the processing, the complex logic, the transformation. And then the spokes are the connectors themselves. So whenever you need to speak to a system, be it a read, an insert, an update, so CRUD operations, we hit a spoke. That then it takes this standard language or this standard model and translates it into whatever the system needs to consume. Once that's done, we're back in the hub for more translation. We then have on the side some analytics, both to surface to the customer. One of the gaps with the prior technology is that customers didn't have visibility into how their integrations were running. What were failure points? How long is it taking? How many
Mm,
records am I returning? This is critical information, particularly when you're paying on an API basis, a usage
yeah,
basis.
yeah.
And then we have a front end. So again, a client wants, needs, and deserves a robust front end where they can get full insights into their integrations, their business critical data.
Love that. How many transactions uh, are going through this system today?
Oof, I believe we're up to, I think it's 5 million transactions a month. And we're still adding clients on. That's actually an interesting part because the ongoing effort is to build scalability and resiliency through redundancy, right? And so we're constantly looking at ways in which we can scale and provide stability to our customers. Not that we don't have it today, but we're planning for tomorrow.
Yeah, I love that. And so in the legacy system, you guys mentioned it was a little clunky and clients didn't have access to both the analytics and some of the like the portal and information about their data. How fast are transactions? What's the difference between the legacy and CloudSync?
This is a fun one to answer. So we've had some benchmarks where massive data loads on our previous system were taking between 9 and 11 hours. Uh,
Explain to me what a massive data load is, though. Like, what's the
yeah,
number?
um, hundreds of thousands of
Okay.
records that are going through, and potentially, you know, between 500,000 and a million.
Okay.
Um, and
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot, and it was taking a really long time. And so our customers had to settle for this being an overnight type of job. And so their data would be, refreshed like a day ago. And if they had to make changes or whatever, it was another nightly run, then they would have it the next day. Um, we've got some instances where we shave that down to 15 minutes, which is a
It's
game
incredible.
changer. Yeah, it is incredible. It's remarkable, and it's a game changer for our clients that have gotten the luxury to work through that because it changes how they do their business. Right? They're able to get real time data by you know starting an integration or starting a process and grabbing a cup of coffee, while it runs, as opposed
Yeah.
to leaving work and coming back the next day. So we have made some pretty monumental gains. Um, the, I think that speaks to a couple of things. Michael talked about scalability and how things run at load. Um, he also talked about how we backed our way into this. We didn't start there, right? Like we had to learn how to make how to make the most of the Azure components that we have to truly scale and be elastic when we needed them to be.
Yeah. That's amazing. And I remember at one point in time, we also had Microsoft take a look at what we were doing. Do you guys remember the feedback that they provided when you shared this with them?
Yeah, it was all pretty positive. And one of the solution architects got on and went through sort of the process, and he was very complimentary about where we're at, how we architected this. Um, we started asking hard questions like, do we need to really rethink this, or are we on the right track? And we were on the right track. They made a couple of recommendations that helped us pivot just a little bit to squeeze some more performance out of this. But yeah, I mean, felt pretty good after working a long time to have some validation. off that we were onto something.
Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. I also know that in the last a year, 6 months, we've we're doing things to ensure that we don't build up technical debt in the platform itself. And Michael, maybe you can talk a little bit about the way we're utilizing AI to ensure that, and how do we keep this the most up to date, the most um, relevant, and continue to grow the platform while still keeping the integrity of the integrations and the speed in which we're able to see these transactions flow through.
Yeah, good question. So there are a couple avenues there. One is not AI related, so I'm just going to get that out. We have built a team that challenges everything we do. So everything that has been done, that will be done, can be challenged at every single level of the team. That's very important. But as we move to AI, we actually switched to use Claude Code. And at first there's a learning process, right? And there's a bit of a where do I fit in as Claude Code starts doing this stuff. But once you get used to being that orchestrator or the conductor rather, and start training it, it's I'm hesitant to say 10x, but it has empowered our development team to do far more than they ever could. I mean, we're a small team. We're now acting like a large team. Speed of development, bug fixes are knocked out at a far faster cadence than we ever could. And so that's really been a game changer for us, particularly on the portal side, where we did a full rewrite. We built a full permissions module. We built a workflow builder, and I could keep listing these things. Um, with one person versus a team of 10 or 20. And so each of these individual development pieces can take these far larger user stories or features and run with them. It's a game changer.
How long would it have taken you to build those additional features, either with the team you have right now or hiring a couple people uh, in
Yeah,
like a traditional sense? And then what did it take you utilizing AI to help you build this?
yeah. So let's take the workflow rebuild. That's probably a team of five, taking probably a year, including
Wow,
dev testing. It was released in about a month. Now,
that's incredible.
the shift goes from development to QA. Woe betides anyone that uses Claude Code or any other coding AI tool and doesn't test fully. But the savings are certainly there.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we talk about this all the time, right? Trust but verify. So you're still the expert. Uh, you can use it to augment your abilities, but not replace.
Right.
I think that's super important. Okay. Well, that's super exciting. All right. What's next on the horizon here? What's your roadmap look like? Because I know we've got some aspirational things we want to do with CloudSync.
Do.
So tell me a little bit about where we're going.
Yeah. Probably one of the things that we're coming up with first is how we kind of uh, take AI to the next level, or take the platform to the next level using AI, right?
Yep.
Um, we're we're prototyping. Well, I guess we're beyond prototyping. We're going live with a light version of an MCP server this quarter.
Tell people
So
what an MCP server is in
yeah,
case they don't know.
MCP server is effectively um, something that, if you want to think about it, sits on top of CloudSync and allows you to use generative AI to speak with and mine data and get answers using natural language. And so, why did we do this? We're doing this to help our client experience in a couple of different ways. We want people to be able to have a clear understanding and be able to interact, not necessarily by logging into the portal and going through things, right? as our clients become more familiar with how to use AI tools, we want to be there to help them plug in and be able to leverage this. The other thing is we're delving in a little bit from an AI perspective, from a kind of a support and an exception capability, right? Um, Exceptions happen. They're always going to happen. And we're taking the approach from our client standpoint that if our clients are having problems, we want them we want to help them as quickly as possible and efficiently as possible, and in some cases provide some self-help for them or some automated help when we can automate, whether that's logging a support ticket or contacting a distribution list or creating information in a Slack channel for people to know, like those kinds of things, right? So we have the things that we're doing with AI, we're focused around our user experience and our client experience to make the platform as friendly as possible and as easy to use as possible.
It
And so,
sounds like I can. Did you want to add something, Michael?
yeah, just to tag on to that. So in a world where everyone is scrambling to add AI to products, I mean, you can't open your fridge without AI kicking in. It started with the why, and I think that's very important. There's no sense building it unless it adds value to our customers or internally, and that's the key differentiator, I think.
Yeah, and I mean, I love the idea of people being able to talk to that data to find out, okay, like maybe they don't know how many transactions are going through. Maybe they don't know, you know, and they want to find that out. And instead of searching for it someplace in the analytics, they can just start talking to it. So I love that. I also love the idea that the AI can be a proactive element in troubleshooting and alerting folks before they find it, right? Like that is, I used to be a CIO. I think you guys know that, right? I hated it when my clients, internal clients, would find stuff before we did. That's a horrible user experience, right? But I mean, it is what it is because that was the technology we had. But I think this is really driving the how can we be more proactive and help you before you've even identified that there's a problem. We're telling you, hey, you need to look at this, right? There could be a problem here. I think that's really, really powerful. So very cool. Okay. Um, Tell me what kind of integrations CloudSync is handling today, and are there any limitations on this? What else can it do? Like, give me the rundown here of like, okay, here's what we've got going, and here's what's on our roadmap these are the types, and that good stuff.
You want to take
Yeah,
that one?
yeah, absolutely. We typically deal with the main ERPs. I mean, mo most integrations are from CRM to ERP or from expense management to ERP. That is our real sweet spot. So the Salesforce, the D365 CE, FSE, Intact, Coupa, Concur, and I can keep listing these, right? But we also have capabilities with on-premise SQL, SFTP, Amazon S3. We are starting to delve into the family office world where we can pull transactions from there. Um, but more importantly, I mentioned earlier the AI-enabled developer. It's really opened that door of we can do it. So we have an inquiry, and the lift isn't an 80-hour lift now. It isn't a 120-hour lift. It's a day. Well, that's a powerful thing because we
Yeah.
can achieve far more. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It does. I think that's great. I also love that we now have control over our own destiny in this area, right? We can respond quickly. We can enhance quickly. We can uh, advance quickly. And I think that's a testament to how both of you are managing this platform. I think it's a testament to how you've thought about the architecture and the development of this. And I think, Ryan, we're also going through a SOC certification right now too, right?
We are. So we're prepping our type 1 to be audited later this month. We're doing the finishing touches now. Our type 2 should be done sometime middle of the year. We're targeting July timeframe. So that's good news for our clients. We'll be able to kind of up our game a little bit. Feel like the product's in a good place where we can do that. We spend a lot of time around our policies and our processes to have best practices there, and this audit will help sort of solidify some of those efforts.
Yeah, fantastic. So one last question, and then I think we'll wrap it up. But when you think about CloudSync competing with other iPaaS solutions, where do you think we are? We're in line, in front of? Where do you think we are?
We're in line. I think we have some features where we're ahead. Um, you know, it would be naive of me to think that we're not the new kid on the block, because we are in this one.
Yeah.
But I think that allowed us to take some experiences from over the years on what really works and how it works and what really makes a difference at the end of the day, and gave us an opportunity to dig in there. Given some time, I think we can compete with any of the products that are on the market space. Right now, Armanino's focused predominantly around the ERP spaces. We could branch out into specific industries if we wanted to. We can go anywhere with this depending on how we want to go. So the framework's in place. That was the hard part. This is the fun part now. Where do we
Yeah.
go, and how do we get there, and how do we compete? So, and I may be a little biased there, but I think that's a pretty objective view on who we are and where we're at.
I like it. Michael, you want to add anything?
No, not really, but just to chime in that to your point, Ryan, the beauty of a newcomer is you can look across the entire spectrum and see what is working and what is not. But we also ate our own dog food, so people were implementing this, and we could get a fast feedback cycle and make changes very rapidly. And I think that is what has caused it to be such a strong product in our eyes.
Yeah. Amazing. Okay. Well, listen, I think this is great. I think this was a nice overview of CloudSync. If anybody's interested in this, please get a hold of us. But I think it's a game changer for us. I love the direction that it's going, and keep up the good work. So, all right, everybody, we'll see you next time when we're going to talk about a frontier organization and what does that mean and how is it related to AI. Take care.
Thanks.